Okay, so we have another build for you today. As you saw, our last video was an unboxing of the Phoenix Neos here. This is going to be a build for my father, as you hear his chair in the background. Um, it's going to be his birthday now in the next couple of days. I'm in school on his birthday, so we're giving him his present early, just so I can build it without having to go to school, come back, build it, save time basically. Uh, So for this build, we have an ASRock, an FM2 A88X Extreme 6 Plus. It's the A88X chipset. It's FM2 Plus, and in that motherboard we already have an AMD Kaveri, the A10 7850K. That was in his old system. We stripped it for parts and put it into other systems, and we sold those systems. So it's been the motherboard, the CPU, and a couple of cables, which are these, just in the case. Now we are going to use these. I know it's a bit out there, just you have the white and then the black on the motherboard, some white LED fans, bit of grey on the front of the case, and then just random green cables. But it's basically a white and green build. There's no side panel window, which means we don't even have to use these. I just think because we have them lying around, we might as well use them, and it's not every day I do a green themed build, so I probably won't be able to use them for a long time anyway. So that's motherboard. For power supply, we have an Aerocool Integrator 500 watt, 80 plus bronze. You won't need any more than basically 400 watts for this build, because all it is a CPU. I believe that pulls 125 watts. So anything over 400 watts is somewhat overkill, but this is maybe £5 or £6, which is maybe €8 or €9 less than your average 450 watt, and it's an 80 plus bronze. And the Aerocool integrators, I've used the 600 watt twice. I've used the 750 watt, the modular one, and now I'm going to use this, and I've never had a problem, never had a complaint about them. They're good good power supplies, motherboard. So I think this will be perfectly fine in this build. Some people don't like them, but I don't have an issue with them. For CPU cooler, we have an Arctic Freezer 7 Pro Revision 2. It's the newest one of the Arctic 7 Pro, and the only reason I really got it is because there's a white fan on it, to be honest. You don't need much to cool this CPU, and plus there's not going to be any gaming done. All it's going to be is watching YouTube videos, email, and streaming the odd TV show or movie. Nothing will actually really be downloaded onto it, a couple of shows probably, but that's really it. And then they'll be put onto a USB stick and be deleted off the system. So the only storage we're actually putting in this is a 120 gig Samsung SSD. Now, Windows 10 is already installed in this. This was in his old system, which means Windows 10 should be binded to the motherboard. We shouldn't have to really install it again. That's what I'm hoping, at least. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll have to install it again. But we tried. Now for RAM, we have some HyperX Fury. It's 8 gigabytes of it. It's 1866 megahertz. Now that's I got that off a friend along with an MSI Crate motherboard. It's not used, but it was taken out of the packet and just installed into my motherboard. And then my friend decided he wasn't going to build a system after all. He didn't have the time to really be bothered with it. So all that was done to it was installed into the motherboard, never used. Basically brand new. Here's our Phoenix Neos. Now we have, here you can see the fan header. We have the two fans installed in the front already, and that's simply because I ran into a snag with them. The holes that you put the screw into, they're too small, so you can't, I pronounce can't word, you can't actually screw in the screws, which means we can't put them onto the front of the case. So we use cable ties, and to stop us having to do that on camera, because it can be very fiddly, I just did it off camera, and that's that dealt with. We were going to put one in the back, but considering the screws won't work, we're just going to leave that one in there. Plus there's no side panel window, so it doesn't really matter. There you have your SSD and hard drive trays. It's a shame you can't take the hard drive trays out because we're not using a hard drive. Now we can just get a 1 terabyte if needed, and we probably will end up doing that later on in the month probably. But as for now, this should be fine. We have a 500 gigabyte lying around in a computer that's going to be swapped out for this one, so we can swap that in. Either it's a 2.5 inch drive, which means it can just go into another one of the SSD trays. I don't know. We'll sort it out. So I'm gonna unbox all these parts off camera because you don't need to see how I unbox so many parts, and we're gonna get onto the build because I'd like to get this finished. So now we're gonna prep the motherboard. So as you can see, it still has this old cooler on it and it's dusty as all hell, mixed between the fact that we didn't really clean this PC out too much because it basically ran 24/7, and also because it's been lying in a case on a chair for months on end. So first of all, I'm going to take this off. Usually not a good sign when the thermal paste is basically stuck. Acts like glue almost. There we go. Yeah, so you can see the stock thermal paste that you get with the AMD coolers kind of dries up. It's not the best. You'd be better off wiping it off and changing it. Excuse me, something in the throat. So with that done, the amount of dust on this board is not right. Anyway, with that done, we're going to install the RAM. So the way these lanes are set up, it's A1, A2, B1, B2. We're going to be using the all the ones, so it'll be A1 and B1. And the way you can figure that out is it just says it right above the M. There, you can see A1, A2, B1, B2, just about, hopefully. So now to install the RAM, slot one end in, and the other end in, and push down on each side. One of the reasons I love this RAM is because it's almost made to be pushed down on each side. There we go. I think this will just having the white memory in with the black background and stuff. I know it looks a bit brown when light hits off it, like the PCB, but once it's in the case, it'll definitely look black, and I think it'll look nice with all the white and the green around it. So that's just about the motherboard prep. All we have to do is clean off the CPU and then install the other CPU cooler, and I'll do that now. So before I do this, I'm just gonna give you a tour of the I/O on the back. So we have two USB 2 here and your PS2 port, a VGA. Some people still use it, believe it or not. A DVI, again, some people still use it. We have a display port, 2 HDMI, an eSATA, two USB 3, I believe they're quick charge, which means they'll charge your phone a little bit quicker than normal USB 3, which there are more here. We have a gigabit Ethernet. What did I just say? A gigabit Ethernet port, and we have all your audio in and out. So that's the I/O. Some other things about this motherboard is it has a little switch to toggle between BIOSes. It has kind of reset and power buttons right here. It has a temperature readout. Obviously it has USB 3 and all that, but overall it's a very good motherboard. And when we bought this around the same week, the same month, the already came out. It was a top of the range motherboard. I do believe some more motherboards have came out from Asus and all that. Gigabyte fixed their G1 Sniper. So it was the highest end FM2 Plus motherboard you could get. No longer is, but it's still a damn good one. Now we're going to install our cooler. While a cat tries to jump up on the desk, I'm not talking to you. Stay. Well, he's getting back up. Anyway, don't hit anything. So, we have a plastic cover on here, and this is for the Intel. Stop it, Bobby. The cat's name is Bobby, by the way. He's attacking the motherboard. Anyway, so this is for the Intel installation. This is for the AMD. These little things will screw onto them like so, and then go across these brackets. So, first of all, the reason I'm putting this back on is just so I can actually put this down without the cat's. I don't understand now. He's different in every way possible. Stop trying to eat plastic. So, I think they're going to go onto the outer holes here. Outer ones, as far as I can tell. So, take our screw, put our screw onto the screwdriver. It's magnetic, so it shouldn't fall off, but it will. Just my luck. It's annoying working with screws that are this small because they just fall out of your hand. Just that. And now sorry, this is kind of hard to see, but it's hard to do as well. Oh, now we can move on to the next one. And there we go, finally. So, now take this off. It has thermal paste already applied before someone asks, because some people don't know that stock coolers, along with some aftermarket coolers, come with a thermal paste already applied, and then you get shouted at in the comment section, and that's never fun. There we go, and this one's on. So now all we have to do is tighten down these screws. The head of the screw is so small that it's kind of hard to get at it. And now just tighten down this one. You're probably not going to be able to see this, but I'll I'll try my best. I have the cooler on. Yeah, but all tightened down and we put the fan on. It's literally just clip it on, 2 clips on, one on each side. So you didn't really miss anything with that. Now I'm going to plug this in. And I have to try and figure out a way to plug it in, because if you see, the lead actually comes out the top. Turn it around for you. The lead comes out the top of this. So I'll have to find a way to like route it down. Like route it down and around. It goes into CPU fan. It goes into here. Just like so. And that actually doesn't look too bad. There we go. Then again, there is no side panel window, so you could just route it over if you wanted to. But I'd like to make this look clean. That's motherboard prepped. Now we can install it into the case. I'm still debating on whether I want to install the power supply first or the motherboard first, because the 8-pin power, there's no grommet for it right above the motherboard here. It's kind of, excuse the voice crack, it's kind of behind, so we'll have to put that through and then install the motherboard. So do I want to put that through first, install the motherboard, then install the power supply and just connect it up, which actually isn't a bad idea. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm gonna put that through, install the motherboard, and then put in the power supply, because I think that'll work better. I can probably route the cables better when I do that anyway. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to install the SSD now, just to get that out of the way, get the little things out of the way for now. I'm just gonna use the bottom cage, whatever you want to call this thing. Line up these holes, put that down. There it is, all screwed in. Just gonna put it back, if it would go back. There we go. And then on the other side you can just plug in your SATA and whatnot here. Now I'm gonna install the motherboard. I've decided for the 8-pin power, I'm going to come in here and just go across, because it's a bit it's going to be hard to really bring it through there. Now for the motherboard installation, we have our I/O shield here. All you have to do for this is just push on each corner until it snaps in, and sometimes when you push this one in, that one will come out, and push this one in, that one will come out. Just like hold 2 corners and push in, then hold these 2 corners and push in. Eventually you will get it. Now something different about this case is for the ATX, as you can see, these are all raised. All 9 of them are raised. Now if we were to put another standoff on that raised one, it wouldn't fit into the motherboard, the I/O wouldn't fit into the I/O shield. So what I'm thinking is, you don't actually need standoffs for the normal ATX ones, but you can just thread the screw into it normally. So I'm going to get the motherboard. And I'm going to just lower it down into position. As you can see, the rear I/O is perfectly lined up. And then we just screw this in. Install our power supply. So this is an AeroCool integrator 500 watt. It's not modular, it's fixed cables. It's an 80 plus bronze. You get safety reminders when you first open the box. You have your power lead, and then you get that smell of a brand new power supply. If you ever built a computer before, you'll know the smell. It's very plasticky. Throw the box away. And here we go. The thing I like about these is the fact that it clearly says integrator 500 watts, so if you have a window, you can see it, but it's not like a ridiculous branding. Like with some power supplies, if you have a certain color theme, some people like to take the sticker off. I'm not one to do that, but with this, at least, if I was sticking with a certain color theme, there's nothing overpowering, not a certain overpowering color with this, so it'll basically go with anything. So I'm going to just and 4 screws. Here. So for this power supply, obviously we have a 24 pin. We obviously have an 8 pin. That would be a 4+4 for your CPU. Some motherboards take a 4 pin. Some motherboards take an 8 pin. Our one takes an 8 pin. We have our 6+2 pin for our graphics card, which we won't need because we don't have a graphics card in this build. You have a SATA lead, a Molex, and a SATA along with a floppy. Another SATA. This one's only SATA. It's 3 SATA on the one cable. And then the next one is SATA and 2 Molex. They're a bit tangled up, but we should only need this cable here, and obviously these. I think that might actually be it for cables, which means some of them are going to have to get tied up, probably put them here, but for now I'm just going to push these 2 through. And Now I'll have to see how I want to go about this. Oh, this is where we're at. This is where we're at now. As you can see, everything's done. Last time you saw, we were putting in the power supply and going to push the cables through. Well, I've gone ahead and I've done all the cable management. I kind of got ahead of myself and did everything. But I think it actually looks really good, considering there's no way to route this properly, and the fans are going from the front of the case to here. I think I did well for what I was working with. I have the SATA routed as well to the SSD. USB 3, all the USBs, front panel, front I/O, HD audio, all 3 fans. Obviously 24 pin and stuff. Everything is done. So really the only thing I have to do is put the side panels back on and turn it on. Here you can see the cable management job I did. It doesn't look too bad, everything will flatten down. I use green cable ties because we have them, and if we're using green cables, why not use green cable ties? The only thing I have to do is just put this in, because for some reason this case comes with just one of these blanks missing. So I'll have to screw that in. I'll get a screw from our box of screws. Right, so I got a screw from our power supply box of screws. There we go, that's that in. And now we get the cover, and this just covers up the screws. It looks a little bit better than just normal screws. Put that in my pocket. Now I think it's time for side panels. So it actually isn't bowing as much as I thought it would be. 2 thumb screws. Sadly. Looks like the side panel must have gotten some form of a hit on in shipping. It's slightly bowed. Not too bad. Yeah, it's a side panel. There we go. That's it, finished. After months of using a backup computer, my father finally has his AMD Kaveri build back. Minus the window, but he has a case that he likes. He's been looking at this case for a while, keeps mentioning it, saying maybe we should use that for the next build. I keep saying no, because to be honest, I didn't like it that much, but now seeing it in person, it's really nice. And I honestly might use it more. Because it's cheap, it's a good case. It'd be great if you put like maybe an 860K. I know I use that CPU a lot. And R9 280, 280X. Yeah. So we're gonna get all the leads and HDMI cables, power, everything like that hooked up, and I'll come back to you when I'm about to turn this on. I'm gonna turn off our lights, turn the computer on. I'll show you, you'll be able to see the LED fans. My father's very happy with it. We have turned it on, it's still not hooked up to the screen yet. We will do that probably off camera and get all that stuff sorted out. But I'll show you it running now. No keyboard and mouse plugged in, that's the beeping. I think it looks great.